It's now in bedtime colours to reduce eye strain. And I hate it when screens do that.
My phone does that.
I want eye strain! Keep whites white, how they're supposed to fucking be.
Right.
But blue light keeps you awake. Okay!
Alright, streaming. I'm just waiting for... Yay! Look, there we are! And emerging from the mist.
Oh my god, you're here!
Yeah. So I think we're working. Let's check sound. Are we working?
But blue light keeps you awake. Okay!
There we go.
Yeah.
We're working.
Sound works brilliantly.
Good. Good evening, everybody. I'm the TheSuffolkRam.
I'm Middlemeiseter.
Skazz.
I wanted episode 77 of the Rand Nerds podcast.
Hang on. What the hell are you doing here?
Well, I just, you know...
Where have you been?
I rode in the street sometimes and I just happened to run into
Look,
me.
I told you, I saw him wandering around the streets. I bumped back in my car.
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening at first.
The bag went over their head.
Yeah.
And then here he is.
Yeah.
I remember-
I thought I'd go away!
So do you not realise that's why there's a cage now that you're back gardening?
You got a dog to guard me.
Yeah. We're going to shove him in that, bit of scrap meat every day or so, just keep him going. And he's always going to be here for us.
I think he's going to be doing a great job of guiding.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Pod Dog is here.
He's not fucking tired, man.
Pod Dog is just out of sight. Hello, Pod Dog.
Yeah.
The thing is,
It really is a
watching
dog
this,
there.
I could put. Oh, I can't move now. If anyone actually wanted, they could actually pretend. Usually we pretend this. No, we don't never pretend.
No pretend. Oh, Kim was here, legit.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
You can see him and everything.
Yeah,
You can't see the dog, so that can be it.
No. No. And of course, we did joke about having Robert McGarvey at some point, but now he's got a lot of free time now, so potentially we could arrange something. Anyway, let's make a start. So, games we've been playing. Skazz,
Oh, shit.
you thought you could escape?
Yeah, there's a twofer actually for me.
Wow.
That's more than a twofer, but I'm only going to go for the two that I can actually somewhat remember.
Right.
Because Nintendo Switch. I play a lot of games on the Nintendo Switch. Because I spend too much money on the Nintendo Switch. But I'm gonna start by I'm gonna break all the rules. Did I praise Doom last podcast?
You did.
Well,
You said it was really fun. You're really enjoying it.
which
Fun.
it is, with the exception of it being a Bethesda published game. So I don't get too used to this Bethesda. Especially not for a game that you've programmed. I've been playing Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh dear.
And everyone knows how much I really, really hate Skyrim for a very, very stupid reason.
Yeah.
Now, would you believe I'm actually a reasonable fan of the Elder Scrolls series? With the exception of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls Online.
I massively played Skyrim. I've obviously haven't played the online one now.
Good, done.
Yeah.
Because it's shit.
Yeah. That doesn't interest me, that one.
It's not bad, it's just a more broken version of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Now,
That's going somewhere from that, is
yeah, the
Well, it's
reason-
okay because no, I just realised you can't even bring the console to fix things. Because that's the thing about Skyrim. Why Bethesda games never bothered me on the PC. Yes, they're broken, but at least I can bring the console up and just change things, make it work again. Whilst constantly have that actually, but the online one you won't have to do that.
I'd like to throw out there that the Nintendo Switch one is still broken.
Yay!
Badly.
Look, it wouldn't be a Bethesda game
If it wasn't
worked.
horribly broken.
Yeah.
But
There's going to be
thankfully,
this one bug in it which completely breaks the entire game.
the thing that made me hate Skyrim back in the day can't possibly happen in this version. So,
What was the thing that made you hate Skyrim back in the day?
right, so when
Can't
Skyrim
remember.
first launched, I got my hands on an early copy. And I was going to do a little video about it, a little review about it, share my thoughts, having played the previous two games a lot. Morrowind being one of my favourite games on the Xbox to just stick around and break. Oblivion being one of the most awful endings to an Elder Scrolls game I remember. And apparently, thankfully, I managed to block most of the ending out of my memory, but having to fight those little dweeby mages whilst on this huge hulking barbarian was... no.
Not sporting, is it?
No. Well, I went back and I watched a video of the ending of Oblivion to see, like, was I just imagining it? Was that actually the end fight, or was there something else after that? And I went back and watched it, and there was a guy playing as an archer, and they actually summoned creatures to help themselves and to fight for them. I was like, they didn't live long enough to do that when I was playing. Was that supposed to happen?
But to be fair, in Oblivion, archery was broken.
You fight as a statue, don't you? Part of the finale for Oblivion. You against another massive, huge statue. I seem to remember something about that in there.
I remember a dude turning into a dragon and wailing on a demon thing, and then everyone saying, "He's gone. He died for some reason. Happy times. Now you go off and do whatever it is you do."
Sean Bean, by any chance?
Probably, yes.
He always dies, doesn't he?
Yes.
He dies in anything that's good.
Yeah.
Lives in terrible stuff, is the rule with Sean Bean.
Bless him.
Yeah.
He tries.
Yeah.
He'll be dead in the next scene, and then he doesn't die, and you're like,
Well,
this is going to be awful.
When he turned up in Game of Thrones, I thought, you're on borrowed time. Yeah. You're on borrowed time.
Spoiler.
It's Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Come on. He doesn't matter.
The Bean effect.
And he's like
If
7 years
Sean
old.
Bean turned up in like a children's TV programme, he would still die.
Yeah.
As long as it was good.
Playtime with the Teletubby, Sean Bean gets ravaged.
He gets beaten by the Hoovery thing.
Gets choked out by it. Anyway, back to Skyrim.
Maybe sun burns him alive.
That'd be hilarious. It gets too close. That rages at him and just fries him. Yeah. When the game came out, I was running a dual GPU setup.
Oh yes.
And you must remember this because I ranted about it. I screamed so loud about it that I think everyone within 150 miles would have heard my rage. So I had 2 graphics cards. 2! That doesn't equal double the performance of 1 card, it's like 1.5-ish.
If you're
right?
lucky.
But it's still plenty good enough performance on every other game I had on my system at the time. And I had a lot. My Steam library was huge back then too. So we load up Skyrim. And I was like, nah, you know, there was a chap who I knew was overhyping the ever-loving crap out of it, which was kind of killing it. But I was like, this is going to look really good. It can't look any worse than Oblivion. Elder Scrolls games are always fun to walk around and dick around in. Let's see how this... What the fuck is going on with the frame rate? What? What's all the... Oh my god, this is running worse than an Atari game! So I do a little bit of digging. I was benching it over and over and over again just to see what the hell the problem was. I was like, I'm gonna pull one of my graphics cards. The performance almost doubled.
Sky, most of the issue where the very first version of it couldn't use more than 4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, but I believe that was a thing too.
Yes, no, it didn't. They had to patch that out because I remember because I had a 16 gig PC.
Yeah, same.
And you can use 4 gigs of RAM. Why are you still? Why you do realise that 32-bit operating systems have disappeared now? They're not a thing really anymore now. Why only 4 gigs? They patched that out with later on.
Yeah, the trouble with Bethesda is it takes them a while.
It does make you think. Bethesda really sat there thinking, what do you mean people aren't still running Windows 98?
But I went onto the old forums. I was like, is it just me or is this fucking broken? And I'm thinking, no, that's a really daft thing to say on the forums, really, of a Bethesda game, isn't it? Because it's always broken. Do you know what the thing was they said? Rather than, yeah, well, it'll be patched in time.
Don't put the card back in?
Yeah, leave the fucking card out. I was like, I'm going to nerf my PC because you bastards are too lazy to patch it. Fuck you. I played it for about an hour and a half, not including the many loops I'd done of the intro. I was like, I can't play this. I'm sick of this. You fucked me about with Oblivion, with your horse armor and your stupid patch for the Vampire Quest that turned out to be paid DLC and all this other stuff. Because, you know, the quest was broken, you weren't going to fix it. But we have got a patch, you just have to pay for it. Thanks, Bethesda.
You could fix that by going into the German version of the game on the PS3 anyway, which is really weird.
Yeah, but
German language.
I don't think they ever fixed the Blood on the Ice mission in console version, did they?
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
Awesome!
I'm not really sure.
We've got fireworks. Right.
Wankers.
Shush dog, shush. Oh dear. They'll be barking shortly. Sorry.
But let's just say I was getting sick and tired of their shit. And so, pretty much from that point on, I was like, no, everything you release is fucking hot shite. I'm not going to give you any more of my money. I'm not giving you any more of my time. I was somewhat looking forward to it, but just no. So 6 years, is it 6 years thereabouts have gone past? Since
Yeah, it will be.
PC
Right,
release?
yeah.
11, wasn't it? The phones.
Oh yeah.
Skyrim comes out on the Nintendo Switch. It was a nightmare to get hold of, by the way.
Oh really?
I had to argue with Amazon because they missed my slot
Okay.
many fucking times. Thank you. But got a hold of it because I was like, you know what? Doom was a pretty decent port. Let's see how Skyrim goes. Let's have another take. Let's get rid of the hatred and see how it goes. Still horribly broken, but the port itself is really, really good.
I've seen a lot of videos. It does look like they've done a good job. They've prioritised the right things.
It's good. It looks good. It plays well.
Decent frame rate, you know.
Yeah. Well, decent frame rate being 30.
30, yeah.
But then, considering wasn't the older console versions 30 anyway, so
Yeah,
no big, not really that big of a deal.
No.
It's kind of a mix between the original and the new remaster version. So like you've got new water effects and stuff on it.
Some of the.
I'd say the upgrade,
content.
but also I know it's the Switch which is as powerful, but even that's a lot more powerful than the PCs back in 2011. I'd have thought. I mean, processing wise must be more powerful than that. Have they optimised it and made the graphics a little bit flashier?
Oh yeah, it does look better than it did when it first came out.
Yeah.
It's a mix of the new remastered Skyrim that came out on consoles not too long ago.
Yeah, it's in PS4 ones.
It's a mix of the two. Kind of thing. So you get like new water effects. There's some new textures splashed about and that. There's still some pop. So you're walking along and grass kind of spawns in front of you, but it's quite a way in the distance. It hasn't really bothered me. I won't go as far as to say I'm enjoying it, but it's a good laugh breaking the ever-loving shite out of it, as Bethesda games usually are.
How are the motion controls in it?
There aren't any! Woo!
Hang on a second. I mean, there aren't any. I thought the whole point was you were able to draw a bow back.
Oh, you can, but you don't have to use them. Woo!
But have you tried to see if they actually sort of work?
No. What the fuck do I want to use motion controls for? That's retarded.
It'd be nice to try and see if they work.
No, I've been told though for archery it's really good because you've got precision aiming with the bow.
Fun, yeah.
So that's pretty because I am absolutely awful with a bow in Skyrim.
I always choose. Well, I choose archery for Skyrim.
Yeah, I did.
I enjoyed that sneaking and everything.
Sure.
I went to an arch. I aimed to be an archer cross in Oblivion. That was a mistake. My battle technique in Oblivion was jump on top of a rock the NPCs couldn't climb and go ba-dump.
That still happens.
Ba-dump.
That still happens.
Ba-dump. And just watch they turn to a pincushion, and eventually after about 100 hours they die. And that was my time to everything. What I used to do when I used to get in, because I just couldn't fight one-on-one. If I used to get into a mine or something like a little dungeony mine thing, I would get the enemies to charge me, I'd go back outside, climb on top of it and wait for them to come out and then ba-dump. I'm a hero! Ba-dump. Ba-dump.
Can someone toss me up some arrows?
Well, at one point I was getting a group of them, you laugh, I ran out of arrows, I had to jump down, search for the bodies, pick them out. Just hold on guys! Arrow.
They come running at you. Ah, wait! What?
That's the one thing I love about Oblivion was you can't sleep with their enemies nearby, you can't fast travel, but you can search someone's corpse with their enemies nearby.
You can the AI in even in Skyrim to this day is still derped to all hell. So Frost Troll comes running at me and I'm like, so one of the things I used to like doing in older Scrolls games was breaking the physics of the game, like just kind of abusing the fact that Bethesda can't code.
There's usually one item, isn't there? There's always one item that predefines physics. Because Oblivion has paintbrushes.
Well, what it was in Skyrim that I've been doing so far is I've been scaling up cliffs. So basically, if a cliff is too tall or too steep for you to walk up, just jump at it. And then start wiggling the analog stick forwards, backwards, and towards the wall, and usually do it sideways and keep spamming jump. And eventually, you will start to kind of stick to the wall.
That works in most first-person shooters anyway, or first-person games anyway.
But
and third-person.
You do that, So I'm starting to scale all these cliffs, only to end up getting wiped out by an enemy that I was nowhere near supposed to be. I've somehow managed to hop up to the end boss. Hi guys.
Oh, I love that. Just like a vision of your character going, nearly there. Pew. Who are you?
Yeah, that's it. Dead. Fucking. You know, I was doing that, and like frost trolls start turning up. So I basically did what you did. So I always path around, like I always hop around on things to see how much I can break the AI. And it's like, oh, I'm like stood right in front of it, but I'm about a foot higher than I was a second before. And it's like, oh, where's he gone? Where's he gone? Starts walking around. Or in one case, it just walked away, and I was like, I'm still here, mate. Started firing arrows out. I was just like, oh, there's something stinging me in the back of the head. I'm just going to keep on walking. What's going on? Get back onto the ground, and he's like, there he is! Charges at you. In one case...
So when you're on the rock, he can't see, you don't exist. As soon as you get on the ground, he suddenly turns psychic. And he knows where you are.
He's back again. I'm going to get him.
I felt the vibrations through the soil.
Hello.
You said he's back again, which is perfect timing for that.
Hello, Charles.
Was it? I think there was fireworks, wasn't there, Charles?
Oh, poor mate, are you right? Was it because I was going, is that our Skyrim rage? You remember that, don't you? But no, there was one part where I managed to glitch out one of the enemies, and it just decided it was going to stop attacking me. I was just going to stand there and get absolutely murdered.
Think of the sound, Charlie, think of the sound.
So the game is still pretty horribly broken. It's okay.
Yeah.
And for anyone that doesn't know what an Elder Scrolls game is, it's just a big open world thing where you...
Yeah, it's got to be fun on handheld.
Fancy RPG.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings style-y.
Right, all you need to know is, it looks well, it plays well, it looks good, it plays well, controls are pretty solid, portable and docked, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Nothing really dodgy shoehorned in, and it's, as a Bethesda game, it's still horribly broken.
Awesome.
But because it isn't as horribly broken as the PC version was when I first tried to play it, it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
So I can see myself probably putting in a good few hours into it. And I've made sure that I'm not going to fast travel at all in this playthrough. Because I want to see all the little events.
That's why I put lots of hours into it.
You know, I might still to say trying to walk down a hill. No reason for me to die. You know, so yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And just walking down the.
You tripped and fell.
Oh yeah, just like broke both of my legs, my neck, spilled out all of my inventory over the cliff. It's just like not a problem. And then like, what was it? Oh yeah, he just stubbed his toe on that rock.
Witcher 3 can be guilty of that as well, though. Falling a short distance and dying.
I didn't even fall! I was walking down a hill!
Then goes the death animation.
And she was like...
Yeah.
And then I said, yeah, you're going to have to start all the way back. And I was like... What? Or the woman that started threatening me. Don't come any closer. And she goes for the dagger on her belt. Pulls her dagger. And I haven't moved an inch. And then she goes... and she like starts like doing like a little dance with her.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, and her mate just pulls out her axe and starts running at me. I'm like, but I ain't done anything. And then she's still standing there going, oh yeah, got my dagger. What was the other one? What was the other one that happened? Oh yeah, the game did actually catastrophically fail and boot me out of it.
Nice.
So
yeah, that's always going to happen with those games.
God. The times it just killed me for no reason, I was like, there's no enemies about. I'm a hulking great barbarian, I'm wearing boots, so I couldn't have stubbed my toe. Oh, I did, I stubbed my toe, that's how all my health went away.
My worst was when I was dying and I went through a door to the outside and my character died. The animation of coming out the doorway.
Quick save.
How hilarious it be for the NPCs that moment.
Yeah.
You're seeing that awesome door comes out and just a pit goes, ugh.
That was basically how I came out the door, just died. Because it was a cave, I just ran through it, the animation of
have you seen that little YouTube videos? This guy, and he's obviously dressed up like the sort of the sort of Dover King, that sort of Viking-esque helmet they have, the post-child Dover King, and he's running around. He's got also sort of in cosplay, running around this sort of forest, got to be out, so he's sort of like fighting things, and he walks this clear, there's this little flower, he picks it up and just falls straight over and just says, "You are over encumbered."
That's it. Don't even get me started with that. Like, oh hey, and I'm not even the kind of guy to loot everything in sight too often. But you know, I am trying to buy a house, so I need to steal everything. I can't earn money, so I just murder everything. Do you know what really fucking does my head in when I think I'm about, like, oh yep, I'm going to do this thing in, and then all of a sudden this enemy just kind of slid off the hill. It's like, are you supposed to be here? And all of a sudden this really ominous music started playing, and this thing just comes up and just BAM! And it's like, you're dead. And I was like, what? When was the last time you saved? I was just going to load the last save point. That was nearly 300.
I'm level 1 again!
That was 300 miles over there, but when I was running around in my underpants. What the hell? Like, oh, good old game. Good times, good times. There was loads of like just little glitchy things, because you can do the little 30-second record video clip thing on the Switch. I've got tons of them of just the game going really derpy on me. It's like, oh yeah, you can climb that cliff, no problem, you're not dead. But the second you try and walk forwards 3 feet, you're dead.
Yeah.
Or you tried to pick that thing up, you're dead. Or that guy came over, he somehow managed to clip over his thing, over his walking path, fall into the area that you're in now, and wipe you the fuck out. And now he's going to be there forever. Get ready to run, sons of bitches.
I mean, there's I was listening to a podcast they were saying about when the patch they put in for the PC version accidentally started spawning horses whenever you fast travelled. So you'd fast travel, there'd just be a horse there. And it sort of,
how creepy would that be? Like, the hell?
Apparently you fast travel, the horse would be there, and then just like sort of like, I'm not meant to be here, and just wander off back to its stables.
It's like, off I go. So it turns out like it's right near a volcano. In you go.
That would happen, yeah.
It's a nice looking world to explore.
Yeah.
Some of the NPCs make me want to punch them in the face because they just turn up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Look, I swear they're clearly, I wouldn't say they're psychic, they're definitely psychopathic. Like, I was just walking along, I was like, oh, I'm just reading a book, and this guy runs at me. Hey! Oh my god! And I was like, fuck mate! Threw my book in the air, shit myself literally as I'm sat on the sofa. What do you want, mate? And it's like, oh, there's someone in the tomb, and I let my aunt go in by herself. She's a feeble old woman, and I'm this big hulking bloke with a sword and a shield, but she's gone in there and everything's gone wrong, and now I need to go and help her. Will you do it? And I'm like, well, fuck, mate, after I get a clean pair of shorts, I didn't even fucking see you anywhere near here. I got lost myself.
Yeah. Have you had, now question, does it have any of the DLCs?
It's got all of the DLC.
So have you had children coming up to you offering you, have you had children coming up to you yet?
No.
Because I remember going off Skyrim after I put all the DLCs, got bought them as a pack. And I was just in the village, I think it was Right One, and this child just walks up to me and says, hello there. And the conversation option basically is, hi.
Oh, yeah, you can
yeah, and then it goes on, will I buy a flower? Why are you selling flowers? You know you only get one option to speak to.
Yeah.
And it goes on, why are you selling flowers? Oh, because my mother's dead, I'm an orphan. Oh right, that's pretty sad. Terrible dialogue. And it's like, yeah, I don't really have anything to live now. Then the only option you've got is, you can come live with me now. It's like, that's just creepy.
You can come and live with me now, when I'm a homeless bum travelling from town to town.
As I say, I don't have a house. But I did, well, in that situation, I did have a house, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do with you? I don't want to adopt you. You're asking me to come. Then she said, oh, you have got nowhere for me to live. I thought, how do you know that? Have you been researching me before you begin? Was this a cunning con that you've just come up with?
That's it.
Try and research me. I give a call.
Another kid comes out. No, that one.
Is it just? I've just figured out that in Sky, I think Sky, basically, if you give a child any form of merch you value, you own them. I mean, because it doesn't work in real life. Can you imagine next time it's all, like, well, not so much here, but like America when the Girl Scouts knock on the door.
Is that how I end up with children?
I think it might be.
Oh my god!
If they come selling something to you, you actually brought them.
Oh my god, no.
But my problem is, hang on a second, I've got, a house which has got a house car, but it's got a spare bed that I never use because I'm always out in the wilds. You can use that.
Yeah.
Lydia can look after you. That's fine. Yeah. What's Lydia? I can remember her name. She can look after you.
The lady who
My house
joined
car.
you up. Yeah.
I
remember her name.
Yeah, she can look after her because I don't take her. She stays at home.
Yeah, she just chills out and does nothing.
Yeah, it's like just do that.
she's gonna look after all your. She said, I'm gonna charge her to look after all your property for you. And I'm like, what property? Well, you can now buy some. Oh, I've got an epic quest to do. I didn't even realise that I had an epic quest to do. I was just running for my life 10 minutes ago.
I love it in the Sky where you have bookshelves. You can put books on the bookshelves and they'd appear, but occasionally the physics would go wonky. They just explode off the bookshelf.
Oh, Bethesda.
Yeah, just haunted.
That was clearly a pretty tight book.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just really, sometimes it's just a bit creepy when an NPC will run 2/3 of the map to come and see you. It's like, what do you want, mate? You're getting a little too excited.
And if you run away from them, they just keep following you.
Yeah.
They're like the Terminator. They never leave you alone.
I'm just wondering, like, if you keep on running, like, they just keep on more and more and more of them just keep coming at you, and you're like, oh my god, you look behind you and there's this wave, like a zombie horde.
One time, I had one chasing me, and I knew he was going to give me a quest. I couldn't be asked to do it, so I fast travelled to the other side of the map, in like this random mine somewhere, and then I went away to get to I went to go get some tea, didn't pause the game, I was sat there, and all of a sudden he's here, hi, I'm glad I found you. Oh, what the fuck?
That's
all
when
back
your
in the
tea
room,
goes,
and then, oh my god! And he just walked the entire map to come see me in this how did you know I was here?
You've
like
locked the
are
door.
you in that orphan?
You've locked the door from the inside, and somehow when you come back, you're just you got to sit down in front of your thing. You got your meal there, and rather than opening the door, it just goes, "Bing, hi." You're like, ah! Woof! Off goes the fucking plate. Off goes the table. Because they do. They just appear for no reason. There's there's a dragon coming, and loads of people have died. Where? No one's dead. Everyone else that I've killed is still on the floor, but this dragon seems to be a master because there's no one here. There's not even a dragon. Oh dear. But no, good port. The only downside is it costs a lot.
Yeah.
60 quid or something?
40.
40 quid.
Which, you know, they had to port it over and stuff, and it is a mix of the old and the new, and it's got all the DLC in it, and I'm sure it's going to suck away all of my life if I let Bethesda do it, or until the next game-breaking bug, which I'm expecting to happen in the next 10 minutes. You're not playing it right now, it's still going to break. It's a Bethesda game, it'll probably, my Switch is probably right now disintegrating.
Look, it wouldn't be a Bethesda game if it worked.
No, it's part of their charm, really.
Bethesda do far better publicity out of all the bugs in their games than they ever do about making the games themselves.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
But a decent game overall.
I won't go as far as to say it's I'm not chewing through tables anymore with rage because
That's something.
the graphics, the performance can't get any worse.
No.
So I've already seen it at its worst, and that was on a gaming PC.
I always preferred the world of Skyrim to Oblivion. Oblivion was just a little bit too fairy tale for me.
I spent far too many times in those Oblivion gates to really remember much about the
But
world.
the sort of the rest of the world, the sort of villages, I always just felt a bit fairy tale to me.
Little
Whereas
bit.
Skyrim felt a bit.
I will admit, in Oblivion, I didn't spend too much time in villages because I ended up with vampirism, and everyone was fucking terrified of me.
The same
Hang
problem
on, if
as
you're
playing.
vampires, aren't you vulnerable to fire?
Sunlight.
You're vulnerable to existence when you're a vampire after a
I'm
certain
saying
point.
is Oblivion Gate is the best place to go if you're a vampire.
Which is why I spent most of my time there. It's like, oh, well, what else can I do? Oh, there's an Oblivion Gate there. Sod it, I'm going to do that then. But the quest you need to do is right there. I can't go in there because
I
they're
just
all
got
scared
idea
of me.
of these people. They see you come out. You've just closed like half of the Oblivion Gates. Oh, well done. He's a fucking vampire.
That was how it worked. And then some people said to me, well, why don't you just go there at night because you're a vampire? Because every fucker's asleep, and if I break into their house, the guards come after me.
Yes, psychic guards. How do they know?
I know. They're insane. But was Oblivion the one with the there was like a Colosseum kind of thing, and the end guy was a troll?
I think so. That
an
was
orc?
part of the Imperial City, I think, where that happens.
That made me
in
so
the middle.
That made me so
Yeah,
sad.
there's a vampire orc.
Yeah, it made me so sad. That made me so sad. That was the one time I was enjoying that. I was like just murdering people left and right. And I just, for one time, I decided to fuck off and do some side quests. And there's a bit in one of those side quests about that orc.
Yes.
And if you go to fight him after you find that out,
If you tap them.
yeah, he freaks the fuck out and just stands there and lets you kill him. And I was like, oh fuck, this is shit. That's not fun anymore. Plus,
Storytelling.
you should. Yeah, I've never seen anyone's soul get crushed that badly. I've burnt down entire villages and still had people come at me. That guy, I was like, yeah, you know all that like fancy stuff you believe about yourself. The only proof I've seen of that, it's written in crayon on the back of this coaster.
Yeah. College in Oblivion. Oh my! I used to live in Kvatch. It's all burnt down. Have I told you about the Grey Fox?
Whoa! You are doing good. You're clearly on the happy pill.
The best was when you met the two of us used to meet up and they used to randomly say dialogue to each other. I don't think there's any fault. It was just random dialogue, and it was like one point is off quite nice and one would get very aggressive, but nothing would happen.
There's that
one
one
part and walk away.
There's that one character, female, and you're talking to her and she says, I'm just going to do that line again. And they kept it in there, and she does the line twice, plus you hear her say, let me just do that one again. You can check that on YouTube somewhere, and she actually said, you know, they kept the whole bit in there, they forgot to edit it out. And said, let me do that again. She repeats the same line slightly differently.
Yeah.
Good time. GG, Middlemeiseter.
Good game.
I'm pretty sure that was. It's alright.
You love all Switch games, haven't you? There's no bad Switch games that you've played, are there?
Oh, there's quite
I've heard that Mario game is really good.
Mario Odyssey is incredible.
Mario game, I've heard so good. I'm actually going to buy a Switch just to play it. It's the best game.
Oh, mate,
I bought it to play it.
Yeah.
Game of the year.
You're clearly insane. And if you were to buy a Switch to play a Mario game, then the whole world would explode. My god. Yeah, I've played Mario Odyssey. I have.
Big old 10 out of 10.
Better or worse than Homer's Odyssey? That's we have discussed the ancient classics on this podcast.
No.
Maybe we just say you're not a big fan and move on.
It's right. To me, Mario Odyssey suffers with Breath of the Wild syndrome. If it were a game by any other name, I reckon it'd have been pretty good or pretty fun. But for me, it wasn't what I wanted out of a Mario game. I haven't played a great deal of it, but the worlds feel incredibly short. I don't like that cap mechanic very much.
No.
And I hate the motion controls.
Yeah, they are very unnecessary. I've got 720 odd moons, so that's how much I played it.
Christ. And how did you need to finish the game again?
999 is kind of the total.
Yeah, but that's not the end of the game.
No, you don't need you only need about 200 or so.
So you've been doing the happy wanker movement a lot.
Fair bit, to go on polls and stuff.
It's you have to look you goddamn thing to make it go. Oh,
that bothers you a lot more than it does me, but that is totally unnecessary.
It's the ones that it's the moves that you can't do, or the moves that aren't. So, okay, in Mario Odyssey, it's a 3D platformer, standard Mario fare, with a gimmick, in that you've got your hat, and you can throw your hat, and you can jump on your hat. And you can use your hat to enslave enemies. So you can...
It's actual terminology.
It's quite dark. You know,
yeah, you can become a Bullet Bill. You can become a Goomba, you can, and they all have like different attributes, like Goombas can't slip on ice, Bullet Bills you can fly through the air. And things like that. But some of the moves you can just press a button, and then other moves, and some of them say, you can press a button, or you can wiggle your Joy-Cons, or there are other moves that are like, well, to do this move you have to wiggle your Joy-Cons. Like, I've got a control pad.
Yeah, if you've got a Pro Controller, you have to do that.
Yeah, I have to do the old wanking motion with my entire control pad, which is horrible when you're in portable mode. Because
Yeah.
you've got your entire Switch in your hand. Right, you're going to shake your fucking Switch. You're fucking wailing this console about. And I'm like...
Yeah, that's really weird. Portable mode.
It just breaks the immersion for me.
I barely played on portable. Maybe that would bug me more if I had done, because that does seem really daft.
It just seemed really silly that some of these... I wouldn't mind if all of them had a control inputs and a motion.
Yeah.
But even at the start of the game is like, try playing with the Joy-Cons separated. It's like, but you can also use a Pro Control Pad, using it in portable mode, using it with the grip, whatever. It's like, so why don't you give me all of the commands, all of the controls, all of the skills with a control input? Some of them do have them, but they don't tell you how. I was just like, really?
Yeah, that's how they made the journos and stuff like play at E3. They had separated Joy-Con, cons to do it that way. But
it looks nice.
Oh yeah.
From what I've played, it plays well.
Yeah.
But it's not what I want from a Mario game. Same with Zelda. Looked brilliant, plays pretty well for what it is, but it wasn't a Zelda game for me. A lot of people really like Mario. Yeah, you really like Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that you're wrong.
No.
Just it didn't. So far, it hasn't clicked with me. But then I'm the kind of guy that likes to learn the mechanics of the game and then break the ever-loving hell out of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of easy to do in Bethesda games like Skyrim. Just walk at a cliff.
Nintendo release their games slightly more finished normally.
Yeah, it works. But the world seems so small. And I'm not even talking about the first one with the dinosaur in it, which was literally the same size as my living room.
They do get a little bit bigger, and there are a lot of secret areas that you slowly discover. Like you go through doorways, and you get like a whole massive new area in them, and there are bits where they do get bigger and a bit more interesting. But like I say, I'm a big fan anyway, so I just sort of...
It's just you can blast through it so quick. I mean, I can't imagine that game... At the rate I'm going through it, I can't imagine it taking much more than, 4 to 8 hours?
Well, maybe, but once you are done, there are new things you can do once it's completed. There are way more moons become available and new worlds as well.
I just don't see Mario Odyssey being like Mario 64 for me. Mario 64, I played that to completion.
Yeah, that was a little bit different, wasn't it? Because every time you got the moon or the star or whatever, it kicked you out of the level.
Yeah, it kicked you out of the level.
Which is a little bit
back in. Whereas in Mario Odyssey, you can go moon 1, moon 2, and you are literally just powering through, picking up the power moons that you need to go to the next world.
Yeah.
I mean, in literally minutes, I was just grabbing at anything I could see, picking up all these items. I was just like, the thing is though, with Mario 64. You wanted to know if anything happened when you got all of the stars. In Mario Odyssey, I don't really care.
No, right, yeah.
I like that it kind of feels a bit like a... what's that story about the Greek guy who shit happens to him at the start? Well, this is pretty much every story that starts in Greece. But,
Sorry.
Something really shitty happens at the start, and then he has to go and find his wife and goes through this journey, travelling to different areas and solving problems. And it's every story ever. I can't remember what this one specific was actually called. But either way, it kind of feels like Nintendo have ripped off this one specific story.
Yeah.
Neat, but I don't know. It just doesn't. The worlds feel too small.
I can see that argument, but they do get a little bit bigger and a little bit more interesting to explore later on. But you know, like I say, I'm a big fan of the game, so I kind of, if there are little flaws, I see you over them. While to you, they're really big because you're not such a fan.
Well, it's not that I'm not a fan, because I've been playing Mario games since I was a child. Just the problem is, if I'm burning through, a 40-50 quid game like that, then there's a bit of a problem.
Yeah. There are more worlds than you probably expect, though. So I think maybe. I'd be interested to see if you do come.
If I come
more. Yeah.
I mean, I reckon if I start getting used to that, if I can get over the motion controls, or if I can find a way to do some really cool tricks without using the motion controls, great.
Yeah, that is definitely an issue with the game. That's definitely is an issue with motion controls being forced in like that.
And oh god, is it the first that forest with the poison?
Oh yeah.
Make that go away. Whoever thought that was a good idea? No. Hey, throw your hat. That sweeps away poison. Does it?
Oh, the plants that spread. Yeah. Those irritate that. Yeah.
God, make it go away. Please make it go away.
I thought you'd be a fan of that bit, being such a big Splatoon fan, but
Oh god,
that's got a massive update on the way, isn't it? In December.
I'll be honest, I don't know because I missed not the last map Splatfest, but the one before it.
Oh,
Completely
yeah.
missed it and didn't even realise. Didn't even care.
New characters, new maps, everything, all that stuff, totally free. As
Fair
well,
enough.
So just released for it. December something.
I've only been playing Splatoon 2 once a month.
Yeah.
I've been playing the Splatfest and I haven't bothered playing it since.
Yeah, could wait to make the game last.
Where are we up to in the Splatfest? Because the last one we talked about was Wells versus Vampires.
Oh, that's the one I skipped out.
Alright.
I completely skipped it and didn't even care.
What's the new one then?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
They haven't announced one because the last one that I saw was America only, and apparently the Vampires and Werewolves one might have been America only. I think the last one they did was hot and cold breakfasts.
Hot, clearly.
Yeah.
Last time I was there, it was the toilet roll.
Yeah.
Back and front.
Yeah, we solved that. We solved that through science.
Front presumably.
Yeah, we did discover through scientific reasoning.
Yep. Front roll.
Nice. Yeah.
He did an experiment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
Tom
want to know all the
Scott.
details of it.
Tom Scott believes that the back roll is the best way. I completely disagree. You know the park bench?
Yeah, Tom's.
Yeah, with Matt and Tom. Matt was on my side saying front roll, and he actually said the same thing as me. That the any back roll, if there's any chance that it's going to stick to the wall, or stick to the area behind it, you don't want back roll. The benefits of stopping children from unravelling it and stopping cats and things from unravelling it doesn't matter if it's stuck to the wall or it's covered in someone else's shit or it's damp. Nah.
Yeah. Now you see, I had this debate. By sheer question, not that I don't care, and we've talked about in 3 different podcasts. I happened to mention this at home, and my mother just went, "Well, clearly it should be towards the back, obviously." Really, like sort of like probably.
Yes, like really aggressive.
Whoa! That was not my thing. I was like, this, the other way is stupid. Whoa! Okay.
Hey, I've done scientific experiments here.
We don't
She's
have it.
wrong.
We don't actually have a toilet roll holder currently. We just put it on the thing next to it, so we're not front or back.
Who savage
We just pick it
it
up.
sideways.
Yeah.
Just pick it
Oh,
up.
but are you putting it from the left or the right?
Alright, hang on. I can't remember from where I was.
It changes every
Yeah,
time.
Just to look over your shoulder. And
Sometimes when he's bored, he throws it in the air and catches it and tries to pull.
But sometimes we like to stand up and look what I've done, you see. And then they'll
You
stand
go
up
for a
and
trick wipe, he just gets the roll, attaches it, and then just spins it.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Or to take a shower.
Every time he takes a grab,
Yeah.
he goes to have a shower straight away.
Every house has a bee day.
The shower.
Anyway,
It's funny how we went from Mario Odyssey to taking a crap.
Have you been playing anything, Nick? No?
I have.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Mario Odyssey on
Oh,
Nintendo
yes.
Switch?
No,
Yeah.
it was not.
Was it something with motion controls that are really horribly shoehorned in?
It's sort of in the sense that my hands have to move.
Oh, man.
I've been playing Hacknet.
Ooh.
So a couple. So for those who missed the podcast, Tom,
Sorry.
a couple of podcasts ago, I reviewed a game called Code 7, and that's a game based around hacking. And Skazz suggested to me, "Have you played Hacknet?" I said, "I've got it, but I've not played it." So he said, "Play that." So I did, and it's a game based around hacking. So it's quite simple. You start off, you'll get this message from this guy called Bit. Well, he's not called Bit, he's obviously his pseudonym. And it's a bit like...
Test on his birth certificate.
But you know, actually, it's what it makes you think of. It makes you think heavily of Uplink. When you start Uplink, which is a game from the early 2000s or late 90s?
It does ring a bell, but...
I can't. Well, either or.
Yeah, it's very early on, yeah. And
Good game.
very good game. And you basically play a role of a hacker. And it all starts like... You know, it's
Don't play the role of a gardener.
Yeah, and it all starts like to make sort of immerse you. So when you start the game, you have to sort of create an account with this server, which is what you do in Hacknet as well. I mean, Hacknet, coolly, first it does put loads and loads of a terminal window. Actually, it loads via a terminal. I don't think it needs to. I think it does it just for laughs. But it does.
It's got to. You're not a hacker if you're not using a terminal.
And then it boots up, and it's also meant to be based. It's based on Unix commands, so thereby in a way Linux commands as well, because they're very similar. And it boots Unix slightly, and it all boots up. And basically, you are the hacker, so you get presented this interface. You have like an interface bit that shows you the computer's sort of GUI. You then have a terminal window. You then have a little bit that shows you the map of all the computers in the network. And it shows all the computers you hack, basically, just there forevermore, basically, this network window. And then on the far right screen, well, actually it varies, you can get different themes. But the one I've got at the moment, on the far right, I have a section which has got all your running programs. And basically you have, well, you've got 760 odd megabytes of RAM, your space, and every program you run uses some of that RAM up. So you try running too many programs, it'll basically won't let you run them. And even things like doing notes, if you put a note up there, that uses up a chunk of RAM. So if you fill your side up with all these notes and information about what you need to do, you might not be able to run any programs. So be a bit careful. So the idea is you're
Make sure you've got a pen and paper next to your desk.
Yeah, you laugh.
Hard copy, mate.
Well, in my case, taking photos of the stuff on my phone. So
you can't do that, because the government are watching your phone and they're like, oh shit, he's a lead hacker.
They probably do think they look at this. So you get come inside
GCHQ are looking at it. Oh my god.
Yeah. You get this guy, coming with this guy called Bit, and he asks you basically, he's got this like kill switch on his computer that if he doesn't reset it for 14 days, it basically sends out sort of massive an email to people who he wants to sort of be hackers to sort of avenge him. And basically he writes this thing, but says, you know, if you read this, I'm probably dead. I'm going to give you some direction what you need to do, and he starts you off by just teaching you how to do the basics of hacking. It's quite neat because it's designed very much like how a computer works. So if you want to hack something, you have to first of all connect to it via your IP address. You have to probe it for any running network ports, which again is actually what you would do. It's obviously a very simplified version of what you actually do, but you probe it.
Gives you a taste.
It gives you a taste, yeah. You probe it.
It gives you a taste of the fun bits.
Yeah, and then you'll have a number of ports. And some computers don't need to hack a port at all, you just literally port how you go straight in. Some you need to bypass the port's defences, so you need bits of software to do it. But you don't have all software straight away, so you have to like sort of get bits of software, and gradually you'll get to computers you can't hack yet because you haven't got the software to bypass it. Some are firewalls that you have to sort of analyse and find, and you have to actually analyse and find the sort of code words to get past them. Some will have proxies, which you have to use other computers to basically hack through. So you have to set like these shadow counts, because I do a proxy, you have to overload it with information, like do a DDoS attack. So you basically, any computer you've got admin rights onto, you can like put a shell program, which again sits in your memory. And when you go to the one you want to target, you can use those shell programs to overload it. And the more shell programs you have, the quicker they'll overload it. So you do all this, you hack in, and gameplay basically rolls round, you know, looking at files, copying files. Later on you'll be editing them, so you might like change data in them, and if you do it you'll pass the mission. You may want to find information. It's all pretty sort of basic stuff, because to be fair, the thing about hacking, there's not many things you can do with it, to be honest. There's only so many objectives you can possibly have. But it's a mixture of, there's a timing element to it, because certain computers, as soon as you start hacking them, you'll get a trace activate, and it'll start counting down time. And some computers will trace you really quickly, some will take you a bit longer. That threw me at first, because when it starts, you get a little counting screen, it starts with 99. So you just assume it's 99 seconds. It's not. It always starts at 99, but sometimes it'll go down a lot quicker. That actually throws me, that actually annoys me a little bit, because it's like I can't at a glance see how much time I've got left. I'd rather it be, okay, you've got 99 seconds what hacks you, or you've got 30 seconds. Rather do that method, because then at least you can glue and see how much time you got left. Because obviously you can't judge it. You can't judge, can I just do it?
Well, let's be fair, like, you can't really judge if you've been caught in a real hack.
No, of course not.
You don't know until 6 months later when the feds kick down your door.
No, it's true.
Got away with that one. Doof. Get on the floor.
Make sure you always delete your logs.
Oh dear.
I mean, it's got, but what I think the main bit of it is actually more like a puzzle game in a way, because it gives you the real bare basics of how to do stuff, but other than that, it leads to your own devices. So there's a bit of small, about halfway in, basically you get hacked. This hacker gets into your computer and does the equivalent of deleting System 32.
What a dick.
And if you know, so basically you lose all your GUI stuff, you literally end up, your computer goes like, yeah, blue screen of death come up, on your screen. Then it reboots, and you reboot into just a terminal window. That's all you've got. It's just a terminal window, and you have to work out how to get your system back. And I was able to, through just knowing the command, remembering the commands, find out where he was by looking at my log, find out who he was. 'Cause I need my system 32 file. I haven't got one to restore. Hack back into his system, find his copy of system 32, copy it across to mine. While I was there, I then deleted his entire operating system. Then went back to my computer and basically restored my computer.
He just runs shred on the guy's entire machine.
Yeah.
Nice,
I
yes.
did. I wiped his entire computer. I basically got back, and when it did that, because obviously he had his own custom GUI, my system changed to match his GUI, which was really neat. It's a neat touch, and it's very neat how it keeps the systems work as you expect them to. If you've worked with doing anything with terminals, whether that be through Linux or even Windows terminal, and you've any experience dealing with them, how you expect the systems to work, it'll work. Yeah, every system has a command, a file directory, and you access it the same way. Doesn't matter if it's a web server, a website. They all have either ones that are like just there, like your own email server that you get your emails through. You can hack that server. You can hack your own computer if you really want to, although it's a bit silly because you have root access to it anyway. But you could do it if you really want to.
I'm going to lock myself out of my computer, and then I'm going to go over there on my laptop and I'm going to hack into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to face roll the keyboard and encrypt everything.
You can if you want. You could delete your own computer's operating system and screw yourself over and reboot it.
Good job.
And you can do this. You can just edit it. So the way it command, so it won't stop you doing it. So you can just look at all the. If you've got, say, for example, you go to the file directory of any computer. You might not need to do that for the mission, but you can do it. You can look through it. It's consistent. Everything's consistent about how it works. You can copy any file you want and upload any file you want. It's consistent. Everything's consistent. That's what makes it a bit special, because there are a lot. You often find in some games that when you're doing like puzzles missions, they'll actually just lock bits out you don't need to do. They just won't let you do it.
Yeah, go that way, no, that way.
Yeah, but this one's like,
So,
no.
but I can see the file there. I can go and see something over there. No. Look at the stuff over there. That kind of gets on my nerves.
Yeah, but this one says no. It will keep to it. If you can do it, you can do it. You can hack servers that are pointless. They don't do anything at all. They're just air, but you can mess them around as much as you like.
Sounds like that'd be quite fun multiplayer. Like a multiplayer version of that kind of thing.
I'm
You
not
know.
sure how.
Can I throw out there is something that's a multiplayer hacknet. It's called a CTF, and it's where people sit in the same room as each other with different computers on a server, and then they try and hack each other.
Oh right, yeah. So yeah.
That's got a little bit of this in it. There's a server in it which is basically a company's release saying, you can hack this. And everybody, you go on this forum and everybody's going on. There's a forum which is quite well written. That everybody's saying, "Oh well, I've tried this. I haven't got through this." And you just go in there. It's like, "I'm a elite hacker. I'm going to hack this and delete it." So forth. I mean, it plays the old switcheroo of company names. So there's Macrosoft. There's Colonel Fried Chicken. But I don't know if it's deliberate or not. But they made a couple of mistakes. Obviously, we were going to call it KFC anyway. Because if you go into some of the files, it's still first to it, it's KFC, but on the front it's CFC, Colonel's Fried Chicken. So obviously at certain points they made a mistake and forgot to change their files.
KFC,
and
Kentucky Fried Cow.
Yeah, a lot of the files have there's quite a few typos in a lot of the files. Even supposedly from like sort of law. So I don't think it's just the inverts, a little bit of typos and stuff, but.
Yeah.
Nah, you haven't read corporate documents? It's full of bloody typos.
It's quite neat. I mean, you can if you've got a website, you can access the website's index file, look at the website's index file, and it's very neat. So it's part puzzle, part time based, because it's nothing more stressful than you're trying to hack the system. And some systems, once you've hacked them, you've got admin rights, you then have it forever. Some it resets.
Backdoor access.
Yeah. So there's this point where I was hacking the system, I was watching the counter going down, and I've literally typed the next command ready and hit enter, I'm waiting for it to hack, and I've literally just typed in DC for disconnect, I'm just waiting and watching, waiting for it to hack. Like if I hack this, because if you successfully hack it, it'll either give you full admin rights from now on, or reset it completely. So if you don't hack it completely, you're not going to get it. In some cases it will remember and stay partly hacked, and some cases it will completely reset no matter what.
Partly hacked. I've never known something to be.
Well, you might open 2 ports.
Sure. And
when you go back to those 2 ports, will still be open.
Hacked.
But you might need 4 ports to get in.
Oh, fair enough.
Whereas in some cases you'll go back and the ports will all reset. In some cases you may hack all your way in, go around, do everything you need to, but if you leave and go straight back, it's all re-locked up again. So I'm sat there, I'm just waiting, I'm just watching the counter going down, just waiting for it to go green. It goes green, literally she's hit it. I had about, and I got a little tune pop up because I had about less than half a second left in the time before I was going. So if you get trace, so you know in Uplink, if you got trace, it's game over. They used to say, in Uplink, if you got trace, it actually used to delete your save file.
Best way.
That was, you know, proper sort of, that was it. Once you got trace, that was it. Well, in story, they said that you were hacking via proxy and your PC was like this central farm, and if you got trace, they basically blow your PC up. So you lost all your progress. That's they sort of put it in game what happened. And this one, what happens is basically you get a blue screen of death, and then you just wait for your computer to reboot. So, but really,
in Uplink, the feds are already outside your door. They're just waiting to bust you.
Yeah. So it's a really good game. It does. I mean, as if you've used it does sort of bring back memories of using Terminal, which obviously you're quite familiar with now anyway because you use Linux. Yes. It does bring back memories of using those old terminals. And I remember doing certain things. It does sort of the commands even match up with the old terminal Unix commands. They sort of try to copy them across, so it all sort of matches up. It is, once you sort of know what to do, it is quite straightforward. There is a case, most of the time, it's a case of doing your attacks in the right order to get in, or just being quick on the draw of typing the commands to get in quick enough so you get in. So it's not like there's a lot of, don't say it's like a skill involved, there's definitely not a strategy involved into it. Once you've got a process of what to do, you'll do it every single time. And you get quite quicker to doing it, but it's not, and basically all that, the engine between like a hacking each port, for example, is just a bit of software. That's it. And once you've got software, you can hack it. And they'll have a different animation, they'll use different amounts of RAM up and so forth. So, look with there. It'd be nice if you could do things like upgrade the RAM of your computer, for example. That'd be a nice sort of upgrade, because you only have 760 megs. This game came out 2 years ago, so I'm not sure who had that back then.
That's all. You're using your Raspberry Pi Zero, mate.
I think it must be, yeah.
Your little hack computer that you've got in your pocket, like, yeah.
So, but no, it's. Oh, that was a fish.
Yeah, just
So
the
I don't know what it
fishies.
was.
Just the fishies.
I don't know what the noise was. Yeah, so I do really recommend it. Particularly
Good
if you,
soundtrack, by the way.
yeah, it's got a very good soundtrack. So have you played Hacknet?
Yes.
Yes. How far have you got into it?
Oh, I don't remember because it was a while ago.
Oh,
It's not on my Steam library either.
was it
I don't actually remember how I played it.
You must have hacked it.
Actually, that's actually a possibility.
That would be
I've listened to the soundtrack an awful lot, though.
It's a good soundtrack.
But yeah.
It's a good soundtrack, but yeah, if it's sort of, it does. I would say it does give you a rough idea of how hacking works. It's very abstract, but it's not that far. That it does sort of say if you want to get an idea of how to actually do hack things, this does give you a rough idea. It's not accurate. It's not super accurate, but it gives you a rough idea.
If there's a normie looking over your shoulder, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, he's hacking!"
Well, you laugh. I had this. I was doing some holiday with me because I wanted the game to go on holiday with me on my laptop.
I'm surprised you didn't get pinned to the floor with a gun to bag
Well,
your head.
I was half expecting not to have to, so I didn't know what internet connection I would have, so I thought I'll have Hacknet, I can sit down, I'm only on my laptop, so I ain't got a kit and mouse or anything, I can do this all with command prompts, it's great. Sat on the table, and I come, my friend walked in and he goes, Nick, what the fuck's happened to your computer? He thought something had gone seriously wrong with my computer because it's this massive terminal window. Oh, it's fine, I'm just hacking things.
It's amazing.
So yeah, do definitely recommend it. Right, Middlemeister, you've returned.
Yeah, I have returned from Wilderness.
And what have you been playing from Wilderness?
Other than Mario Odyssey.
Other than Mario Odyssey,
Sucks.
it's been Mad Max mostly, which I bought quite a while ago because that originally came out at the same time as the movie Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
But isn't really. There's no real connection to it. Obviously, you play Mad Max, but he looks completely different. There's none of the story elements connected between the game and the movie, but it came out at the same time just for publicity reasons, I think. But it's by, I can't remember the name of the developer. I had it up with me earlier, but I just can't remember. But they're the guys who did Just Cause, those big open world games, paraglide, parachute, and all that kind of stuff. But it's a lot more precise than that. That was always little bit of a mess, those games. And this one's a little bit more controlled and ordered, really. Basically, you start out with the game, and these naughty people get away with your car.
Bastards.
Yeah, and the main aim background aim of the game is to upgrade your car to make it better and better over time to get back to the kind of car you had to begin with, and you get car parts, you get new suspension and all this sort of stuff. But the only way to do that is to complete various story missions, and it's set in Wasteland. Anyone who's seen Mad Max knows what kind of world it is. It's, you know, just basically deserts and, you know,
I thought it was set in contemporary Australia.
No, well, yeah, some people might see it that way.
Current day Detroit.
Yeah, but there's little bits of civilization left, you know, like little.
That's definitely not
little bits of
setting
towns
down
and
things.
things. Yeah, tiny little bits, but not much. And then,
Sorry, still audio listeners.
yeah.
Audio viewers, goddammit.
Oh yeah, sorry, audio viewers.
Hang on.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that was a fail.
Uh,
Go on, Mad Max.
right. Okay. So you get the basic structure is main stories, side missions, and races, and also anyone like Far Cry. In those games, you have to destroy camps, and you
Liberate camps. Sorry.
Yeah, liberate camps. There's a similar kind of thing in that, where you kill everybody in the camp, and then your own people sort of take over.
That could have been interesting.
But the main aim of destroying, taking over the camps, is to reduce the threat level of that main area's like sort of
I
kingpin.
thought you say reduce the population.
No, just you do reduce
You've
the
got to
population.
go, you bastards.
But each region has a threat level, and the lower you get that, the more upgrades and missions become available. Like you can get the car. I think the main aim is to get the car up from a V6 to a V8, and then just do loads of stuff to make it better.
Which is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
So no V12s, W16s.
No V12s. They all got destroyed in war.
Into war.
Into war.
Back in my day.
And then there's loads of other little things. There's like these giant scarecrow kind of things with people on, and you destroy them, you reduce the threat level. It's open world.
I just say, you're reducing the threat level of them, and then I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, that guy's a fucking mentalist.
Yeah.
Threat level around you's
Yeah,
going
you-
up like a...
To them, the threat level's really high.
Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? We were just chilling out here, and
Yeah.
he just came in with his random...
They're
power.
sat there round the campfire singing Kumbaya. And then all of a sudden this guy pulls up in his big Jeep.
Middlemeister rocks through fucking hippies.
Yeah.
No, this is a peace camp, this is a peace camp. Die!
Yeah.
I'm reducing the threat level.
Goddamn hipsters.
Your threat level's too high. Start mangling people.
But yeah, you get like a main bad guy threat level for each area, but you also get like a good guy as well. And the more you reduce that threat level, the more missions he'll give you. And you can also upgrade an area. So they've got like a main base, each of these good guy bosses, and you can do things like maggot farms or water towers, and every time you do that, their area looks nicer and improves. But when you go back there, if you've got like the water farm, for example, your water canteen automatic refuels,
Okay, cool.
and you can build like a fuel retainer as well, and every time you go back your gas tank fills up completely, as they call it, gas tank.
Gas tank.
It's, graphically speaking, it's pretty good. It's, you know, nothing spectacular, but it does look nice. The world itself looks really good.
I can give it a bonus point.
Yeah.
It's got Linux support.
Yeah. Oh.
It does.
Yeah.
I think Feral Interactive did that one.
Oh,
I
right.
did the port on it.
I think it's Avalanche Games who did it. I think that's the name. But anyone who's played Arkham City, Arkham Knight, any of those Rocksteady Batman games, the fighting is basically a rip-off of that. It feels the same, like that heavy impact kind of thing. You press triangle to do counters as people are attacking, and they all kind of attack you at once.
Press the button that appears on screen.
Yeah,
You win.
that's a little bit more violent than that, because you can obviously, you know, gut people completely and slice bits off.
It's
them.
as violent as Doom.
No, it's not as violent as Doom. But it's very
It's not
visceral.
violent then, is it? I mean, Doom's quite middle of the road in terms of violence. I mean,
I'd say violence level
I'd
is
say
similar,
quite peaceful, to
but
be
it's
fair.
not as gory as Doom. It's violent like that, but not as gory. There is some gore to it though. But it's very
I
very
reckon it's more
intense.
dangerous to rearrange my sock drawer than it is to play that.
It does get a little bit repetitive after a certain amount of time. You know, go here, reduce this threat level,
So
doing
it's
this.
Okay, cool.
But then the main
Kind of like
missions.
Assassin's Creed, like, you know, you have to do the same kind of set of missions over and over and over again, but in a different place.
It's not as relentlessly repetitive as that can be sometimes.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, the main missions are a little bit more, you know, free-formed, and they do change things up a little bit.
That guy's a bad guy. He took a leak in that village's water supply. Do him.
And the car controls are actually really good as well. Like the cars feel real.
That guy over there didn't pay his road tax. There are no roads. He didn't pay his road tax. Do him. It's like, that good guy boss sounds like a right dick in the head.
That guy that hasn't got fully comp insurance.
That guy wasn't wearing a seatbelt. His car doesn't even have seatbelts. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
That guy over there ran a red light.
That guy doesn't even have an MOT.
You don't really go after those guys so much. You go after more the murderous, rapist kind of type people, rather than tax dodgers and. You know. Yeah, that sometimes.
So not like the Mexican government.
So the three classes: murderers, rapists, tax dodgers,
and car thieves probably.
Car thieves must be quite a big thing in that.
At the beginning, you get proper thief, and then you can
so
thief their cars.
what point do you upgrade your car with thatch cam?
I don't think you do.
Do you have dash cam?
There's not really a great abundance of electricity left, so no.
But lots of petrol.
So
but all these cars have these 12-volt adapter ports in it. Put your adapter port in.
I don't think these ones do anymore. I think
that's rubbish. Well, who makes them? Ford?
I don't think you play that game for that kind of gameplay, though. I don't think that's what you get into it for, really.
Last I checked, Mad Max cars don't really have bodywork either.
No, this one barely does.
Hey, look, it's got a Ford badge on it, and you find this pristine Ford Model T just chilling out in the middle of the desert. Yeah. Oh my god! Well, look, hey, I'm gonna go out for a drive in the Jag. It's like, there you go. Yeah, I've got my Jag.
I think one of the most fun things in that.
I love the fact that my Land Rover actually fit. My Land Rover as a Fender actually fit right in without any modification.
Oh dear.
But yeah, you get like a grappling hook, so you can attach that to people and swing all over the place. Or
strap them to the back of your car. Woo!
Yeah, you can do that to enemies' cars, and then you grapple hook to them, and then smash right into the back of them to do extra damage. That's kind of fun. But
surely that does massive damage to your car at the same time.
If you do it to, if you do it to them. It's not, you know,
magic happens. Magic happens, and
you've just gone and buffed the front of your car with unicorn tears. Like
it's that situation where you get in like a third person where you get to put a car, you start, and also your car is like a tank, and anyone comes near you, car explodes if you so much look at them the wrong way.
A little bit, but if they do go for you, you can get damaged quite badly. But obviously you can then upgrade that. Grabbing the hooks also destroy the doors to camps and things like that, so you can get in them and. You know, there's a lot of areas to explore as well. It's a lot of fun.
Do they open up more when you get more moons? Does that have motion controls?
No motion controls, no moons, I'm afraid. Except the big one in the sky. But, yeah. It's fun. Yeah, some good characters as well.
In my case, I was playing be like indicator roll.
Nick sat there with his driving rig.
Yeah.
Got to check.
There's
signal.
That's not really designed for that in mind either.
And some guy comes tearing past. Well, these savages!
You can build a maggot farm, but not an actual entire farm.
And Nick gets his little blue light and puts it on the top. Bloody savages is a 30 limit. It's like, Nick, it's a desert road. There are no speed limits here.
Yeah. There's an autobahn.
I definitely recommend it. So it's really cheap at the moment. I picked that up on the PS Store for like a tenner.
It's probably about $2.99 on Steam.
Yeah. Well, it's really cheap and it's better than you'd imagine this licensed kind of game to be. It's a lot more fun, a lot more.
I think a lot of people have been so burnt with any. If a game comes out based on a film/TV license, people just got so burnt now they just don't touch them.
Yeah, I was worried about that, but I'm still enjoying it. And there's a lot to do. The world looks a little bit samey because there's all kind of deserts.
Are you actually playing Mad Max?
You do play Mad Max. He just looks different from the latest movie version, but you do still play Mad Max, Rocksteady Max, or whatever his name is, Rockatansky, I think, or something like that. But you play the same one
As
from the old.
opposed to my version of the game, Mellow Nick.
Yeah, no. But yeah, you still play Mad Max, and you know.
Slightly pissed Skazz.
Slightly.
And you get a little assistant who helps fix your car and helps you with missions called Scrotus. You know, this is quite nice. He's a good little fella. No, not Scrotus. Scrotus is one of the bad guys. Scumbucket is the name of your companion. You also get a dog for a lot.
So whenever you go back to see Scumbucket, does he go?
Scumbucket's always with you.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's always in the back of the car.
It's like you've got RAC in it.
Kind of, yeah. He's the one that fires some of the stuff for you, and he's always with you, so we can fix the car, and he's always there with you. Yeah,
he's definitely RAC.
Could be, yeah.
There's a dramatic moment where he leaves because you've not paid your membership fee.
There is one bit where he realises before the war you were part of the AA, and that
oh,
but other than that, there's nothing else. There's no actual RAC affiliation.
Oh, that's right then.
But yeah, I'd highly recommend that. A good 8 out of 10 if I had to score it.
Well, there you go. But we don't do scoring, so it's fine.
No, but I'm just saying if
you do, it'd be out.
Yeah,
it's worth the play.
yeah, for the price you'd pay nowadays for it, especially. Yeah.
Cool. Right. Well, moving on to.
Oh, actually, can I just throw out there?
Yes.
Extra point to Hacknet as well, because that has a Linux port.
There you go.
I think.
Isn't that Linux?
Yeah, they both have. Yeah, Mad Max and Hacknet have Linux ports. Play them.
Nice.
Or just download Kali Linux and you got Hacknet basically.
Yeah, exactly. Just why play the game when you can do the real thing? Just don't
get caught.
Yeah.
Or just hack for real on a Linux
delete
move to Australia.
your log files. Get a VPN.
Oh,
use the Tor browser.
Don't use a VPN. The guys who will rat you out the moment that the feds knock on the door.
Depends on your VPN.
Oh, they will, regardless. We don't keep logs, and then the FBI turns up. Is it the FBI or the NSA? That's the NSA, isn't it?
You say that there was a VPN that got took to court to reveal logs, and they both said no, we didn't have any. And when they got arrested, they didn't have any, and nothing happened. The case got dropped because they didn't have any logs to give them. It's
very rare these days that they don't keep logs, and there have been a few cases where companies will say, we don't keep logs, and then as soon as the Rozzers knock on the door, take them, and it's like hand people over. So be very, 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 very careful what you do on the internet.
Oh yes.
Or just do it all publicly and wait for the feds.
VPN and Tor, you're fine.
Just Tor everything. Tor everything.
Yeah.
VPN everything. Trouble is though, like we said before, though, if you the more you use Tor and VPNs, the more you're painting a target on your back because you kind of know how to protect yourself.
Yeah. It catch 22 really.
Yeah. Look, there's the sea of noise, and then there's this clear.
Fortunately,
this is going to sound really
fortunately
weird.
Though, we still live in a country where it's beyond all reasonable doubt, so you'll be alright.
Yeah.
It's very clear. It makes very little sense what I'm about to say, but you've got all this noise, and then you've got this clear string of encrypted traffic. That that sticks out like a sore thumb. That's like a rainbow over Nazi Germany. I think there's something dodgy going on there, folks. I'm just saying, when you use Tor and encryption in this country, average Joe public's like, Facebook, and then they're like, hang on a minute, there's encrypted traffic coming out from over there. They must be up to no good.
Be them Russians, wouldn't it?
Yeah, goddamn them crazy Russians. They must be working with the Russians. The traffic's encrypted.
Ruskies.
Feds knock on the door. They'll definitely knock on Nick's door.
Oh yeah.
It's only
a matter of time, isn't it?
He's already been talking on this podcast about hack.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. They'll get you next. They'll rap right on you.
Oh yeah,
just to get a better deal.
God damn.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can't go to prison.
First 5 minutes.
I haven't done anything wrong yet.
Well, you haven't. But when I talked to him,
by the time you've said whatever.
Oh yeah.
Well, it turns out that you were the second gunman on the grassy knoll. Fuck, Nick, you told him that.
I couldn't keep quiet on. I've hidden your secret for so many years. I wasn't born, but I've still hidden it.
I was the second, third, and fourth as well. I was also the iceberg that sank the Titanic, but no one seems to care about that one.
I shot the deputy as well as the shark.
But I didn't shoot the horse.
No, he got away from me.
God damn it. Still
anyway,
yeah.
Talking about vigilante justice.
Yeah.
On to TV review.
Yeah, I've been watching The Punisher, which is Netflix's latest collaboration with Marvel. Now, anyone who's seen it, in terms of TV land, Punisher was introduced in Daredevil season 2 as more of a. It kind of started out just killing everybody.
Sorry, you just explained something. When I saw it come out, I thought to myself, Show the Punisher was already a TV series, and now I remember he was in Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil season 2. He was almost. He was kind of like a villain in that, but not completely, not like a black and white villain. But he was sort of a bad guy.
He was vigilante, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of Daredevil. If Daredevil didn't have rules about not killing anyone, he just takes Daredevil and like the extreme version of him, really. Because his entire family was wiped out when he, that's kind of an early thing. That's not really a big spoiler.
No.
And that's
If
why
you don't know that about the Punisher,
yeah,
what are you doing watching the Punisher?
yeah, and then he's introduced in Daredevil. Some way throughout that, he becomes their client in a court case, and he goes to prison and sort of escapes. And where Devil leaves off, Punisher kind of takes over from that, but it's a few months afterwards because they had the Defenders where all of them were in it, and it kind of comes in directly after the Defenders. And Punisher himself started in issue 100 and something of Spider-Man, so he's connected to the Spider-Man character in the comics. Yeah. And with Marvel, Netflix, their sort of collaboration shows, they each have a part of New York City. So Daredevil had Hell's Kitchen. Luke Cage was Harlem because he saw the black character and everything. A few of the other ones, yeah, but that was part of the identity of that show. And then with Punisher, it's Queens, which is the same part as Spider-Man. I don't think they might cross paths at some point, but obviously, that's unlikely movie, TV sort of versions. But it is the same universe. So it's all part of that MCU. It's all part of the movie lore, and it's not for the faint of heart. This show, because later on it gets, especially in later on episodes, it's very violent. Like really,
to be kid friendly.
Yeah, no.
Isn't that Punisher's whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if you shied away from that, it wouldn't be right. So they haven't hid away from making it violent. It is, it does go full on violence. I don't know if either of you or anyone know there's in The Walking Dead, but the guy in that who played Rick's really annoying friend, John.
It's on my list.
Yeah, John Bethany, something like that. He plays the Punisher, but he's brilliant in this. And 13 episodes, so it's not like a massive investment. They're about just shy of an hour each, about 55, 57
typical
minutes.
Netflix style.
Yeah, that kind of thing. As that sort of as it starts out, they sort of introduce characters. There's the Homeland Security guys who are after him and what really happened. You find out from various things why his family were murdered in this one properly, and then you kind of have good guys who turn out not to be so good. You have real good guys. You have bad guys who kind of turn their way a little bit, But there isn't an awful lot of him being full-on Punisher with the whole get-up and everything, but the action in it is really, really, really high quality. There's really good, well choreographed fights, not just massive like brawls and stupid, over the top. The action, there's car chases, gun fights, proper fist fights, rooftop chases, bombs going off. It's really, really well produced. You can tell where the money's gone, as you can with most Netflix things, really.
So I was going to watch Punisher, but my internet went down. But Punisher is one of the few. I'm not really into superheroes. Never have been. Punisher is probably the one that I've read about and I've actually been interested in enough to actually think, well, I'll probably watch that.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it massively.
It's mainly because he's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And B, he doesn't fuck around.
He
doesn't
really doesn't.
Heavy Batman shit. Well, I just knock them out. Just don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Just kill them.
His philosophy is, if I kill them, they can't come back. They can't get out of prison. They can't do it ever again. They're done. And
I was reading there's a crossover comic book where he goes after all the other superheroes and he absolutely trounces them because they're just not used to fighting someone like him.
Yeah,
he doesn't hang around. He doesn't set up like sort of a elaborate death trap. He just shoots them.
Yeah, but his rule in this is he does kill plenty of people, but only the ones that haven't come. Yeah. He doesn't. He still saves and protects the good guys in it as well. he is kind of a good guy. It's just, you know.
Well, that's what he's a vigilante.
Yeah, but he just kills lots of bad people.
He's doing good, but not to say the best way to do good.
Yeah, in this one he has sort of early on he meets like a hacker, and the two of them kind of team up because
Is it called Bit?
No, it's called Micro. It's called within the as the real name obviously. This guy has a family still as well that he's kind of monitoring, and they're really good. The chemistry between the two of them, the two guys, they have a really good rapport, and he uses the Punisher because he's great with computers, can find anyone and do all that kind of stuff, but he can't really fight for shit or anything like that. So he uses him as a pointy end of the stick.
Why am I thinking of Person of Interest?
There are similarities to that, but it's a very different show.
To be fair, in this day and age, any TV series that involves a vigilante has to have someone like a hacker to back him up because you simply couldn't do it these days. Someone to leak the phone records and alter the security cameras and you've got to hope that everything's got to connect to the internet.
Yeah, there are similarities to Person of Interest, but obviously this is based on certain graphic novels and comics that came out way before Person of Interest, including the character Micro teaming up with him. Way more violent than Persons of Interest, but yeah. I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. There's some really interesting female characters in it, which is always good because you need that dynamic. The villain, who turns out to be overall villain, is really, really good as well. There's a great character in it who's brilliant all the way through, who was in Westworld. He plays, you have William when he's young.
Yes.
Yeah, his mate, his friend.
Logan.
Yeah, Logan, that's the one. He's really good
character. I shot him.
He's a great character in this. He's really, really good. Again, really, guy in the suit all handsome.
What would have been awesome is that his entrance into the series would have been him riding in on horseback naked.
I don't think they're part of the same universe, and I think Punisher's probably set a few years before Westworld. I think.
Yeah, well, it's just over there on the horizon.
Yeah. So you've got the crossover with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Is there much? Because obviously you said they're all set in the same part of New York. Is there much more sharing of characters and plots, or was it just that story, or they kept very separate?
The female journalist Karen from Daredevil appears in this. Due to events that happened in Defenders, Daredevil isn't in it. Can't be in it, but that's not really a spoiler for that.
Can't be in it?
No, not currently.
Daredevil dead confirmed.
Not currently. But she's
Daredevil maimed confirmed.
Yeah. That's the first time that the nurse character hasn't been in it. This is the first time she's not there.
She's looking after Daredevil.
Yeah, she's been in all the rest, but she's not in this one. Yeah, like I say, 13 episodes, we're around about almost an hour each. Very, very violent. So if you don't like violent things, avoid this. But if you do,
love violent things.
Yeah, plenty of.
I don't know how you could watch anything like that. I know.
And the action won't let you down. The drama, all I can say is I really thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't want to say too much, obviously, because I don't want to give any spoilers away.
It's called The Punisher. He kills people.
Yeah, but only those that have it coming. If he's at your door, there's a reason he's there.
I'm sorry, I saw the carton of milk. I'm sorry.
You forgot to give me my change.
But yeah.
We get to the door, the Punisher staying there. Oh god, oh shit. Postman left his parcel at my door. Oh, okay, thanks.
Definitely watch the first season of Daredevil anyway, because it's brilliant, and watch the second season as well, because that's also brilliant, but you get the full Punisher experience, you get to see more of where he comes from. Although his origin...
is the Daredevil set before?
Yeah, this is set after the events of the Defenders as well. Right. Shortly after that, so it's set a fair while after
but is it still... Events. Could you watch the Punisher while watching Daredevil, or do you really... Do you really see Daredevil to watch Punisher?
You might get more out of it if you
watch it. You still get kind of his origin story and where he came from and things like that, but the Daredevil stuff would probably flesh out a little bit more, and there's references to things, but most of the characters are brand new.
Well, it's not a prerequisite to have watched it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you'd have to, but I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
And Daredevil's so good anyway, it's worth watching just for the quality of the show. But yeah, it's really, really excellent show. I loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just a couple bits of news. Unless you've got any other TV stuff to talk about.
No, it's all been about that really.
A couple bits of news. I just want to do a bit of fun because last podcast we talked about Battlefront 2 and EA loot boxes briefly. And basically, since we went off hair, I don't know if we get to say this.
No.
The shit hit the fan properly.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely properly. So, just a brief history went on. People started complaining to EA, actually proper getting up in arms about it with EA.
This is before the game had actually been properly released, hadn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, so 2 weeks ago. I was watching this unfold while I was on holiday.
Yeah, I was
watching it all unfold.
Quite a few videos.
It got to the point where EA basically word got out and people started actually saying, you know, this is a bad thing. Word started to filter down from not just gamers, but actually, shall we say, non-gamers, as word started to get out.
It's on like ABC News and stuff like that in America.
And EA basically, all of a sudden, started to start doing damage control.
Yeah.
So, first thing they did was they said, oh, we'll reduce the cost of all these things by 75%.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, first of all, they put out a statement that was on Reddit about how it was basically they thought it was give players a sense of accomplishment if they had to work hard towards this, and it became the most downvoted comment on Reddit. Yeah. I think last time I checked, it was at minus 643,000 downvotes.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
No, it had us high.
It's probably gone down more than since then. That was the lowest. That's why last check was about that. I'm sure it's gone a lot lower since then. It's probably over 1 million by now. Wouldn't surprise me. I think the next previous comment, also by EA, was like minus 23,000. So they did that. Then they agreed. Amazingly, they agreed to do an Ask Me Anything on Reddit. Silly. Well, but did you actually look at it? I don't know if you.
No,
I looked at it. I went and looked at it, and just. Is what I expected. They were very picky about what questions they asked, and anyone who actually asked a on-the-nose question about the whole situation, nothing, not a sausage, completely ignored. Although it was hard to find their answers, because as soon as they answered, people just downvote and they disappear, because the way the sorting algorithm works, if you downvote your answer, even if you're the person who's doing the last minute, you get knocked off and disappear.
That must have been soul-crushing.
Yeah.
For the suit in charge of that one.
Well, there's a group of them. It was someone from DICE. It was someone from the marketing department, and there's like 3 of them. But you knew when they were going into stuff, they're basically asking. They can't afford to have a good outcome. They can't afford going into that. When we leave, we're going to go, do you know what? They're right about loot boxes. Actually, I don't mind playing 60 hours on Unlock Vader. That ain't going to happen, is it? So that was the thing. Well, people still complain about the fact that they then reduced the cost of loot boxes by 75%. But the reading of the word of the language they use implies that they reserve the right to put it back up again. Yeah. Which makes you implies that the idea is, we'll reduce it down, people will buy the game and then we'll shove it back up again. And a lot of people and basically the word has got out, people are boycotting the game. There's loads of pictures of basically game shelves where the shelves are empty after like sort of Black Friday weekend, but Battlefront 2 was just sat there, dozens of copies, and there's someone in a picture of a Walmart store, and they had packs of PlayStation 4s, all empty except for the one with Battlefront on it. Yeah, it's the worst.
Victory for gamers finally. It kind of did it.
Not quite there yet.
No.
EA until EA say right, that's it. We're scrapping it completely. No pay for crystals. No, it's gone completely. You just have to unlock the. So that's the thing. If there was no way to pay for those crystals, you just had to earn the characters through normal unlock progression. I don't think most people complain because lots of games have done that. You know, Lego games, Lego Star Wars. You have to work to unlock those characters, but you can't pay for them.
No.
If they hadn't done that, they would have got away with it, I think.
It's still broken the progression system anyway, isn't it? Yeah. Even without loot boxes, the way it's done. But yeah.
So if they got rid of it completely, that's the only way I think they would have saved it. But I think, the people are now working on Steam to try and get people to buy copies of the old Battlefront 2 on Steam to try and push it to the top of the charts. So Battlefront 2 will be at the top of the chart, but with the old one. And Steam have renamed it to Classic Edition. On Steam, they've managed to get its scores now to very, very extremely positive on Steam. It's nice and good. Actually,
that one, I think.
I haven't played it, no,
I never played any.
But games have actually got together, but it's not a victory yet.
No, but
we're pushing back. We've not won yet. We've not Well, I say
No.
I've not really got a dog in this fight, to be fair, because I don't like Star Wars.
No.
But I'm watching on the sidelines going, yeah, go for it.
But publishers are going to be very wary about releasing their games with loot boxes in them.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, they don't want to be the next guy to
Well,
get that kind of
next
brief.
one, do you think I half one of EA is going to lose the license? Because Disney are not happy.
Disney are
Disney
the
not
ones
pleased
that-
at all.
Yeah.
Because EA basically, because people start complaining to Disney about the whole situation.
Once it hit major news outlets,
Yeah.
Disney's very
Disney were like, oh my god,
Yeah,
the
they-
normies know about it.
They're very protective of their
Image.
properties and their image, and Star Wars is a
Everybody
massive
will
deal
have
for
to.
them.
They're supposed to be super family friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and this
obviously,
is not family friendly.
no, gambling for kids isn't.
Yeah,
You know.
there was someone put those like memes going out there of like picture of like two hookers and a quick of cocaine costs less than buying all the DLC in Battlefront 2.
I think it's like you could spend like $1,000. As they put it, like $1,000 to get.
$950 I think you could spend in
Yeah.
total.
And it's completely random, and it's aimed at kids. The game, and they will.
Yeah.
Some kids will do that without even realising they're spending real money. They don't make it obvious or clear
Well,
what's happening. You know.
Belgian Gaming Commission has now come and said loot boxes are considered a form of gambling.
And why?
Some new, we haven't. No, the UK one said no, we don't consider it that. US, some new senators are now actually coming out saying we think this is gambling.
Yeah.
It's actually for once
Yeah.
we've been getting shat on. Usually we tend to sort of get shat on, whinge about it, but take it up the arse anyway.
Yeah.
Now
game anyway.
it's actually game measuring. We're actually saying no.
Yeah.
Whether we'll change EA business practices, I doubt it. EA basically, I think what will happen is EA will reduce it or do what they do. They'll write a store, then the film will say they'll just gradually set it back up anyway.
Yeah, but no one will be playing it by then. So
The problem
they'll
is-
still try. They'll
The
still try.
problem is, and you know this is going to happen, we are not buying it now. But I can guarantee you, as soon as EA sprinkles some sugar on that shit, people will start lapping it up.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
look, they've taken all the bad stuff away. Buy, and EA are like, yes, got that money.
It started out, like in really early days, it started out quite well because they said all the DLC would be free and everything, all the expansion
Yeah,
packs
they
would be
did.
free. So it actually started out quite nicely.
They were
for
saying
them.
that's not a very un-EA thing to do.
Yeah, that's very generous.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh no, that PA member got fired pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What the hell were you saying? Well, I weren't feeling all that well that day, and
I got the wrong number. Well, I meant to say, and good news, everybody, we're going to charge you twice as much for the DLC.
that was the April Fool's letter, but I read it on the wrong day.
Now,
Yeah.
if you look under your seats, you'll find a massive dildo. Please all bend over and take and deal and with the EA logo written on it.
But yeah, that really went crazy, didn't it? All the hate in the store. about it.
Apparently,
Just
they
became
shut
massive.
down the stores, didn't they, on the open betas for Xbox and.
It appeared on sales on the EA stores. Digital version appeared on sales on the EA stores before it was even released.
If you- They gave the journalists that were like sort of previewing and eventually reviewing the game a different kind of version of the game as well, didn't they? Where they could unlock those characters way easier. Like it was a third, like a quarter of the amount of credits needed, of less than that.
My cynical version means thinks they're playing an early version when you could, and then
Yeah.
suddenly EA thought,
We should double that,
microtransactions,
triple
they work in some mobile games. Why don't we shove loads more into this game?
And I think EA also made it worse than it would have been, and then reduced it and said, "Oh, look how good we are!" They probably wanted to get what they originally wanted anyway by making it seem much worse to begin with.
Yeah. Now here's the next one. Do you think the action would be a lot different if Battlefront 2 had been free, but you just pay for the characters?
Probably.
I think the action would have been a lot different.
Yeah, I think it would have done. But
if you're gonna put in microtransactions to that degree, your game had better be free.
Yes.
yeah, you can't buy like 50 quid and then still expect
Exactly.
to do all that with it. You
Yeah.
know, that's just bad. But yeah,
I still
I've
wouldn't
seen-
personally play because it's a shitty business practice.
Yeah.
I'm one of the handful of gamers who will say, not to big myself up here, but if I don't like your business practices, I don't buy your product.
Yeah, I was planning on
Fact-
buying the game until I read all that shit. Even getting back on PS Plus for that game, but after that,
The fact of the matter is, whilst EA controls the game, you can never trust the buyer because at any point they can just re-implement the system.
yeah.
Whether if you buy a digital copy, well, in fact, buy any copy, you ain't going to get a refund on it.
No. The reviews for even the reviews that have kind of avoided that are really quite negative about the game anyway.
Well, Metacritic got
you know.
meta bombed, didn't they? People were just putting zero
yeah.
reviews. To be honest, I think Metacritic actually started, people started playing because Metacritic started deleting the reviews, and people started playing, and then some points, but I should first point out, and I agree with that, well, Metacritic just saying, well, the game's not released yet.
Yeah.
How, you're not reviewing a game, you're just putting it down because you don't like the company. That's not a review. That's just not reviewing the game. So I still agree with Metacritic on that one. People just kept voting.
Same thing happens with our Uwe Boll films. The guy who did all the dodgy game films. Like people would just instantly 1-star his films even before they'd come out. Have you seen it? Well, like, oh look, House of the Dead, awful film. Have you seen it? No. Shit though.
I've seen that film. It's amazing.
Have you? Postal. Have you seen it? No. 1 star. Shit. But Postal's actually quite funny. And House of the Dead. My God, that was filmed in such a dangerous way. But for that alone, I was like, instant win.
My favourite bit is Tara Reid dies in that film, and for like a split second, you see her get up before the film cuts to the next bit.
You can't hate those films. They are so cheese. It's just ace.
Yeah, and it's not like that nasty stuff like Sharknado, which is intentionally made to be bad. Uwe Boll tries his best to make it good.
Well, the trouble is, though,
just can't do it.
Well, it's not even his fault because in Postal, for example, it was his script.
Yeah.
He's getting the stuff that he's working on. He's literally getting handed crap.
Yeah.
Because they know that he can get financing from the German government. And, you know, even, like, we could write the world's crappiest film, take it to him, and he can get finance for it.
Yeah.
So, you know...
They need fighters for it.
Yeah, I'd fight him. I'd fucking gladly fight
I
him.
want all 3 of us together might be able to take him.
No, I'll do it.
I think
Just
so.
me.
I'll just, yeah.
I
If
think
you
it's
jacked up on Red Bull and Iron Brew, and we'll send you right in there.
You say that, but I'm a hockey fighter.
Oh, so you... Yeah.
Yeah, I can fight.
You can fight, yeah. Oh, fair
I'm
enough
not
then.
built very big, but I hit like a tank.
Oh, alright then.
And
We'll
the,
definitely take you in there
the
then.
nerve damage kind of helps too, so...
Yeah. You're kind of a bit like Kick-Ass then. You know,
awesome.
punch like it. Yeah.
Well, we on our next bit of news.
So is that the challenge then?
What?
Do I get to fight on with the ball?
Yeah.
So we can get our film made.
If we
Brand
raise,
nerds, the film.
if we raise a certain amount of money on a 24-hour one, we'll send you over to Germany to fight him.
In fairness, I'm one of the few
film it.
fans of his fucking films. That'd be an interesting fight.
Yeah. We'll film the whole thing. Wouldn't we? Be good.
Anyway, moving on to our next bit of news.
Yep.
The big thing going on in America. Now, so you're screwed if you're an American game at the moment because you've got EA to fight about. You always got to fight about net neutrality. So,
All I know, understand about this is that might affect my porn viewing
yes, it will.
quite badly. So
Yeah.
I'm quite worried
You'll
about
be
it.
stiffed by it. That's for certain.
Yeah. I get really screwed.
So, the basic concept is for those who are not in the know, not heard about it.
This has been going on for years, though.
It has been on, but it's, well, some people might not.
It's
Don't
getting
forget,
worse now.
it's mainly an American thing that's where it's affected. It's although there's been some words of it over here, it's still a main American thing. The general idea is, at the moment, all traffic on the internet is treated equally, whether it's from Netflix, from your favourite porn site, or from, you know, a text-based site blogging about turnips. I don't know. It's all, you know, turnip.com. It's all
I've
treated
seen
the
films
same.
with turnips in.
Data is data.
Data is data. It doesn't matter what it is, you get the same priority. The way, and as anyone's going to know, you basically pay for either how much data you're allowed to use, how fast you have it, a combination of two, or maybe have unlimited packages. So
And you basically get the data as fast as the server can push it, and
Exactly.
the ISP can suck it down the pipe.
exactly. The idea between net neutrality is that's called net neutrality. The net is neutral, treats everything neutral. The idea of removing that is certain data types will basically have either a shitter service supplied to, or you'll be charged a premium for using data. So
For example, Comcast is an American cable company,
yes.
isn't it? Right, so they sell television packages and the internet. So on their lines, they can say, as you were saying, Netflix. That's going to come through a damn sight slower than a service that they have stakes in.
Yeah, and the thing about Americans' ISP system is, whereas in the UK, Americans like us, in that one company basically dominated the phone network, and here was BT. In the UK, we stepped in and said, right, anyone can use BT lines.
Yep.
BT still have to maintain it and look after the system. They get paid. They get a fee, a line rental fee to pay to maintain it from the ISPs. Anyone, I could set up an ISP tomorrow and start being an ISP. Okay. In America, basically parts of the network got bought off. So in certain parts of America, all you can have is Comcast. You're stuck with them. No one else will supply your net to your area. So if you're, as you say, in this situation, you're screwed. You have no one else to go to. It's a monopoly.
Yeah.
And our parts of the country are the same. You know, so I think there's Comcast. Is AT&T?
Comcast, AT&T. I don't think AT&T do.
I thought they did internet still. I
They do. I think they do internet. I don't think they do. They don't have any stake in TV. I don't think.
No, but they can still have net. They're still involved in this as well. So the idea of like sort of deciding that so how it would ever be effective, I'm not sure whether you'll get like a certain amount of premium gigabytes a month, whether you just have to pay extra automatically, whether they'll just put the charge into the suppliers like Netflix, in which case they'll have to put their price up to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. So one way it had gone in the past, from what I understand, is that Netflix was having trouble, like people were having trouble accessing Netflix on whatever American ISP it was. They were constantly getting buffering issues, and there's no reason for it. And then it turns out after a bit of investigation that this ISP was throttling them. Yeah. And to stop them from throttling them, Netflix had to pay hard cash to get the pipe opened up so that everyone could view to view that service, because the ISP was losing money on their competing cable services. Yeah. Because people were cutting cable and going to Netflix. Then Netflix's price go up. If we were to start a competing video company to Netflix, which would obviously instantly sink because Netflix is so popular, we would have to be willing to pony up that cash to get the same pipe as Netflix. Otherwise, we could be throttled into oblivion. And
I mean, it's not just that. Obviously, they in some cases they're throttling and call more also like that is simply the amount of bandwidth it takes up. Because obviously Netflix is going to use more bandwidth than you know just going on reading a blog.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to use more bandwidth. It just simply is. So that was the other reason, is that they just felt that it was taking too much. But the whole point of these has always been the internet's not. These people don't own the internet. The internet's owned by the government. You know, they basically rent it. They don't own it, but they're basically fighting to say we can just charge you whatever the hell we like. And there's a big vote going on in America next month. Now, I know it doesn't directly affect us. I mean, I say if you're a gamer in America, you're screwed. Because you've got the fight, but this week you've got to fight both EA and net neutrality. You're fighting at the moment. But next month, the FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission.
Something to that effect.
Yeah. They basically, they're going to vote.
They're the ones who censor everything and all that kind of stuff.
They're going to vote basically whether it should be removed. Now, the reason that I've moved this up is that if America does it, you can damn well get that it's going to start pushing happening in the UK for it.
Yeah.
People like the big boys will start pushing. Now we've got advantage because there's more competition, and it'll become a selling point. I think some kind of say we don't prioritise traffic and so forth. But you can see it coming because wasn't it a few years ago before Netflix really sort of took off that BBC iPlayer accounted for something like 40% of internet traffic at one point, 30 or 40% before Netflix took off.
No idea.
But I remember hearing that iPlayer was accounting for like 30-40% of internet traffic.
Jeez. I do remember reading something like that. I figured it was an insane number. You know,
well, it's because of my data it pushes through.
Yeah.
I mean, video simply is.
HD video and all that kind of stuff.
In America, they also have the issue that ISPs are dirty, underhanded bastards. If we haven't already established that,
They've got you on the barrel.
Well, the other issue is, so like, let's say for example you've got because they have horrible data caps over in the States. Oh, you can use 100 gigs in a month. I can use 100 gigs in less than a day, god damn it. I use on average something like 700 gigabytes a month in data. I use a lot of data. I would be bankrupt if I was in the States. Now, the trick is, so let's say I want to watch some Netflix. Let's say, example, Comcast. It might not have been Comcast. Let's say they have a cable box, and I want to watch Netflix. If I start watching Netflix, they will start ticking down my bandwidth counter. Right. But then they'll say, well, you're running out of bandwidth. You're running out of your data allowance is running low. However, if you use our IPTV service, don't count.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. I was like, but it's still coming over the same pipes. It's still the same protocols. You've just decided that you're not going to count it to try and get me to use it.
Yeah.
Really quite insidious,
it's the exact same shite. I was like, well, it doesn't count because it's over our network. It's like, well, it's on your network, you bloody idiots. Of course it is.
Yeah. America is screwed for internet because I was reading that in most mainstreams in America, the average connection speed is lower than even us. I think the average connection speed was something like 20 megs over the course of the cities, whereas around here I would imagine the average is probably like the 40s and the 50s.
Yeah, it's pretty the size of the country now, getting all upgraded and.
Yeah, but there's a major city.
No, but they should have been doing this from. What's that?
Don't forget, they were ahead of us. In the 1970s they developed Hacknet.
Was it the 96 Telecommunications Act where they were supposed to be, rolling out new shit and keeping everything up to date, and they just said, nah, that costs money. Even though there's something they're telling them they have to do it, they've been ignoring it for years and years and years.
Well, because they've got a captive market, because there is very little choice.
Yeah.
People have to go through them for all those people. They can afford to give you shitty service.
And they fight amongst each other all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
What do you mean you want to come and move into our turf? We ain't moving our equipment off of these lines.
You set your own network up.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, but it's like, but you can't cross here because that's got our stuff here. And we're not going to move it or allow you to do any work here because you might disrupt our service. So, no, what you're saying is you don't want to have any competition, so you are stonewalling every attempt to get competition in, or you're gonna get your little lobbyists to come in and destroy the competition right off the bat.
Isn't Comcast some kind of Disney? Aren't they owned by Disney or Disney?
I don't know.
I think Disney own one of the major, providers of sort of satellite and cable television.
Disney's the devil anyway.
Yeah. I know they have a lot of channels, so
They are devil, very good PR.
yeah.
They're the devil with very good lawyers. Hey, we're going to pull all of our stuff off Netflix, and then we're going to make our own version of Netflix, so you have to pay a subscription to watch Disney movies. It's like, why don't you not sod off?
Something Disney did that no one would have wanted, just to have all. I don't know if that affects us because that's Disney Channel. A Disney provider isn't coming here yet, is it?
No.
There's still a few Disney things on Netflix.
But still,
yeah.
Why?
I know.
Well, because we're not getting our piece of the pie. Tough.
That's like Star Trek Discovery. That's on Hulu. Not Hulu. That's on ABC's own, or NBC or whichever. One of
their random networks.
Yeah, they've got their own sort of streaming service. You have to pay for that.
They do it to try and
There'd
stop.
be no great loss if it disappeared, to be fair.
No, I think it's great. It's got a second season on the way, so it's sticking around. Let's not get into that though.
They do this to try and stop cable cuts because cable television is still, it's big business. This is like copper in the UK. It's it's still a big thing, even though it probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And they're just dinosaurs clawing at everything they can to try and stay alive that little bit longer.
Anyone who saw any young dinosaurs climbing out of the top, they're grabbing them, putting them back
That's
down
it.
with them.
They can't. They cannot have anything new come along, and anything that may threaten them, they will crush it.
Yeah. Old white men.
Yeah. I just think the trouble is, with the current American administration, I can't see it not getting passed.
Yeah. Well, Jeep Pye's a whipping boy, and wasn't he a lawyer for one of these ISPs at one point? So they're screwed.
Yeah. Trump couldn't care less about that kind of thing.
Well,
he doesn't understand it.
He can afford it, so it doesn't matter to him. What do you mean now people can't pay $1 million a month for their internet connection? Well, they should work harder.
They did a study on that. If he had taken the money left by his father and just left it, he'd actually be wealthier now than he is. Actually is.
He's not a good businessman.
No, he created a casino and that went bankrupt. Who does that with a casino?
He's created lots of things that have gone bankrupt.
Yeah. Including America now.
Yeah.
Well, that was on
I'm waiting for
Yeah.
to rename America Trump.
Yeah, Trumpville.
Yeah. Trumptopia.
Trumptopia.
Mad Lord Trump.
Next door to Nicktopia.
We don't talk about the first one. Wait,
It's
there's only
only
one. There's
four.
only one. There's only one.
Oh! It was a bit like the Matrix. Everyone went horribly wrong the first time, and then it just had to keep reinventing it until
Then
it got
Colonel
right.
Sanders got involved and sorted the Matrix all out.
Yeah.
They missed the trick though. They should have made him look like either Bill Gates or Steve
Oh,
Jobs.
that guy, yeah. That's a bit of a mess, that whole sequel situation there.
Yeah. I'd be more sympathetic if the guy looked like Was.
Yeah.
How can anyone get angry at Was?
Yeah, he's quite cuddly, isn't he?
Yeah, that's how it was.
Again, they found
He rocks in his Segway. You're like, Was.
the whole Matrix was on Apple Lisa.
Big
Matrix
ass.
works now, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Apple Lisa did work.
Yeah.
occasionally.
Just bloody expensive.
It is now.
Mind you, Matrix must have cost a few bob. It's a whole thing of using people for power that doesn't really work with that film because you
That
can't
wasn't the original intention. Do you know what the original idea was meant to be?
potatoes.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was potatoes.
No, it was not.
But
Are you saying that we're vegetables?
I would argue with you about that, but I'll let you go.
The
this once.
original idea was that the people in the Matrix were meant to be used as like living CPUs for processing power, which makes a lot more sense.
I think it was potatoes.
But the the executives of the film thought that'd be too complicated for audiences to understand, so they made it turn into
All the
batteries.
normies are sat there. What's a CPU?
I'm pretty sure it was potatoes, and
No, I'm pretty sure it
the
was.
second one was about the Irish revolting about their potatoes being taken.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm right about that, but I'll admit I could be wrong.
How many potatoes did it take to kill an Irishman? None.
That's good. I like that. Bit of topical news there.
Yeah. Too
Topical
soon?
joke.
Too soon?
Yeah.
Sorry, too soon? Sorry, Irish listeners.
Didn't want to just
Everywhere.
eat chips and stuff like that instead of potatoes.
I'm noticing that our chat is incredibly quiet. It's just
To
like,
be honest, there's been one watcher all evening.
Oh man,
That's us.
that's me on my phone.
Sucking up his bandwidth. I hope you're charging for that bandwidth.
yeah, god damn
I got
it.
no service, but I don't answer if you're alright.
It's fine, it's fine.
Basically, what we're saying is the internet is screwed.
Yeah, in America.
at least.
And us in time.
I wouldn't say it's.
We've got
Life-
advantages over here because there's more competition. There's actually
Life
competition.
online isn't that much better over here. We are still being monitored like crazy.
Yeah, we're still way behind. Like the best country I think on the planet for internet awesomeness is probably North Korea, as it is now. But
There isn't any.
yeah.
That's
There's a
probably
little
why.
bit, but,
That's why it's so
you know.
good.
Yeah.
Do you know there's more internet sites in Grand Theft Auto 5 than there are in North Korea? There's 18 in Grand Theft Auto 5. There's 15 in North Korea.
I was going to say in America. Damn, they really tied that one down
Yeah,
already.
Comcast.com.
Yeah. Even if you're watching Israel.
Yeah.
Or was it Yun now? I can't remember. Keep it. Is it Il or Yun?
Dude, Big Kim is always watching.
Yeah.
Big Kim's chilling there with his massive pipe for the internet. He just can't.
Well,
watch
where is
shit.
he? Where is
There's
he?
a big
Where is
fat
he?
belly.
Why is he not supporting us tonight?
He's the
He's
one.
the
He's just
one,
not
yeah.
talking.
He's the one.
He's blocked. Our service
Yeah.
has been blocked from America. We can only be served up in North Korea. We are on the fucking Kim.
I would say,
the Kimbotron.
He's watching big old heels.
I wouldn't use the phrase being served up in North Korea because given what some of the things that have happened over there, it's probably not a good phrase to use.
You did one live from North Korea once, didn't you? Well,
We
quite a
did,
long
yeah.
time
We had
ago.
episode 50.
Way before my days. but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a good trip, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim's an alright guy.
You came back a
He was
little
always
bit.
smiling.
You looked a little bit shaken when you returned.
Well, that's what the
You
death-
weren't the same people
that's
you
what-
were when you
that's
left.
what the prison camps do to you, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
That was a fight.
But I got eaten by dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, man, poor guy.
He's died many times. Somehow
Yeah.
he keeps coming back.
I've suffered from a few terrible illnesses since I started doing this podcast. When I haven't been. Yeah,
That's why he disappears for 7 weeks at a time. He's having to recover.
He's fighting off
Yeah.
the plague. He'll leave here and he'll be like vomiting blood as he leaves the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the attack dogs will get him. Speaking of, where is the attack dog?
I don't know, it's not here.
So I've noticed he's left the door unguarded.
Yeah.
Well, we're here, aren't we? So trust us.
Crazy dog. I wouldn't trust me with that door. I live here.
That's what your keys are in it. No one get in. That's how locks work, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. You don't even have to turn it as long as the key's in there. It's fine.
Cool.
Mm.
There are ways around that.
Awesome. Right, I think it's time to end.
Yes.
We've put the world to rights.
Yep.
So, very much watching over the TheSuffolkRam.
I've been Middlemeister.
Skazz.
And we will see you in a fortnight for our penultimate pre-Christmas episode.
Pre-Christmas.
And then 2 weeks later, you'll see our Christmas episode, where we'll all be still wearing the same clothes, strangely.
Actually, hang on, what shirt am I wearing next to the broadcast? I'm going to make sure I'm wearing this shirt for the next podcast.
I'll make sure I'm
So we'll be wearing 3 podcasts in a run.
Yeah. And we may seem more tired in the Christmas podcast, but it's purely coincidence.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to comment on the Christmas podcast, not anyone does anyway, but you won't be able to comment on the Christmas podcast because of reasons.
Laughing, giggling and dribbling.
Yeah. Yeah.
There will be tinsel and there will be jingle bells.
Fucking hate Christmas.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Everybody loves Christmas. Come on.
It
Man.
comes
Has he done a Christmas podcast?
No, he hasn't.
Then just you wait and see.
I'm not going to do it then.
Do you remember last year I felt so embarrassed because I was so used to Bard not turning up for our podcasts, so I bought some bits of tinsel to us to wear, but I only bought 2 bits because I thought when Bard turned up and he didn't have a bit of tinsel to wear. I felt so bad for him. Well, I didn't, but because I thought, well, where has he been? So.
Look, I'm already rocking on the goddamn.
There will be Christmas tinsel. So until then, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
It's not a Christmas podcast.
If you want a Christmas podcast.
I thought I got away with that, and I remember that was last year. Every year there's a